Yes! We've made it into the month of July, which is obviously the best month in the calendar year because it is your girl's birth month. But we're going to take a quick look back into the month of June so that I can show you what I got up to in my sewing journey. So if that's something that you might be interested in, then please keep on watching. Hey Stitchers, your girl Kris here. Welcome back to my channel on social where it's totally cool to be obsessed with sewing. So for today's video, we're going to do a deep dive into all of my sewing makes for the month of June. Now, June was an interesting sewing month just because I had been gearing up for my birthday, which by the way was the 2nd of July, and I had solicited your help here on YouTube about what I should make for my birthday outfit. As if that were not enough, I also solicited help over on my Instagram account, asking my Instagram followers what they thought I should make for my birthday. And it just turned out that you guys chose two different patterns. And so I had to take a lot of time in the month of June preparing two patterns and doing toiles for both patterns just to ensure that I got a very good fit for my birthday outfits. Now, I did share a video right here on YouTube. I'll pop the link in right here so that you can go and catch up on that video, but be sure to watch this video first. Now, for all of the things that I made for the month of June, there are going to be full videos here on the channel. If they have not dropped on the channel just yet, then keep a lookout for them shortly. If you're not yet subscribed, now would be the perfect time to hit that subscribe icon and turn your notification bell on so you do not miss any of my upcoming videos. Now, I anticipate that today's video will be a little bit long, and so let's get right into it. I'm not going to be sharing my makes with you in any particular order. I've just put them on my clothes rack to the side right here, and so I'm just going to pull them and share them with you accordingly. So the first thing I'm grabbing is this make right here. Now, this, you guys, is a Blair skirt by True Bias, and I actually sewed most of this skirt live right here on YouTube with my girl Jilly of the Curated Curvy. Now, I had reached out to Jilly, I think it was at the end of May, asking her how she felt about doing a live here on YouTube. Neither of us had ever gone live before, and I thought it would be a brilliant time to try it out. Now, the Great British Sewing Bee is currently in its 10th season. I'm not sure how many of you guys can watch it, but I love watching it. And in fact, I have watched all 10 seasons. But I digress. So for the first episode of season 10, the sewist had to sew up a paneled A-line skirt with tons of top stitching, you guys. And they had 3.5 hours to do it on the show. Now, I've always had qualms about the time limits on the show. Whereas I feel like the challenges are usually very good, I find that the time limits are so small, you guys. And I cannot envision having to do like all of that sewing work in like 3.5 hours. So I decided to test the theory by going live with Jilly. Now we chose the Blair skirt by True Bias just because it is a skirt and it does have some top stitching details and all of that. And I just figured that this would be a good one to try and see whether we could sew it up in like a 3.5 hour deadline. Needless to say, your girl was unable to complete her project in the 3.5 hours. I had constructed most of my skirt, but I did not get my waistband on and I did not finish my belt loops. So I went ahead and finished it off camera, and this is the final skirt. Now, it was a really interesting and exciting experiment, and I'm pretty sure that Jilly and I are going to try it again sometime soon. I don't know when yet. We need to coordinate, check our schedules, all of that jazz, but it was such fun that I definitely feel like we need to do it again. So again, the Blair skirt. Now, I made it in this black fabric. You guys voted on this black fabric. There was a full video here talking about the preparations leading up to the sewing bee, which is what we called our live session. And I showed you two different fabrics that I had in mind. It turned out that most of you guys went for this black fabric, indicating, you know, black is basic, but black is also very classy and it will work well in my work wardrobe. And so I went with your suggestion and sewed it up in black. Needless to say, I love it. You guys were right, so thank you. The next thing I want to share with you is actually my birthday dress. So you guys, this was my birthday dress make. This is Vogue 8574. I think that's the number. I hope I have it correct. But this is the final garment. Please forgive me that I have it inside out. This is a solid purple fabric, and I just fear that it will get dirty. But I probably should turn it right way out just to share it with you guys. All right, so this is the finished dress. I went ahead and top stitched it around the neckline. I did not add top stitching at my waistline. Instead, I went ahead and slip stitched it on the inside, and I did a very narrow hem on my hemline. Now, I'm actually pleasantly surprised about how much I like this dress. Now, obviously, I thought I liked the pattern at least enough to buy it. At least I did back then, but it had been languishing in my stash for a very long time and it remained unsewn. I pulled it out for some reason for my birthday selection, and surprisingly, that's the one that you guys went with. And in an effort not to disappoint my viewers, I went ahead and tried it out. But I am actually very happy with how it turned out. Now, this fabric is from Minerva. I can't remember what the substrate is. I think it is a crepe of some sort, but it was a little bit slippery to work with. But it does give for a very nice drape, and it feels very smooth and soft on the skin. However, I find like it doesn't press very well. Like I have already pressed this fabric, and you can see right here at the waistline seam that it's not completely flat. No, perhaps if I were to use my clapper to try and flatten it there, but I didn't want to risk the seam allowance imprinting on the outside, and so I did not. Now, this dress also has pockets, and you already know how your girl feels about pockets. And like I said, overall, I'm very surprised with how much I like this dress. Now, I did go ahead and do a behind the scenes of the preparation of this dress, and I did demonstrate how to do a full bust adjustment in this type of bodice. Now, it does not have any bust darts. Instead, it has these pleats for shaping right here at the neckline. And so I thought that would make for a very good tutorial. And if you're interested in how to go about adding a full bust adjustment to a bodice such as this, then be sure to go ahead and check out this video right here. Now, the next thing I want to share with you is actually a pair of shorts. Your girl made herself some shorts. You have no idea what a big feat this is for me. I have struggled with pant fitting over the 6 years that I have been learning to sew. My Instagram followers forced me to go ahead and give it yet another try by selecting the Simplicity 9330 for my birthday make, which I am yet to share with you. But that also kickstarted in me an enthusiasm to learn to fit trousers again. So I tried out these trousers right here. These are the Foxie Boxies by Gracie Steele. I think that's what the company is called. If not, I'll go ahead and drop it in so that you can find it. And these are the short version of the Foxie Boxies. Now, there is a long version as well. I actually contemplated making it, but I had some scrap linen left back in my stash, and it was just enough for me to be able to cut out these shorts. And I figured for a wearable muslin, perhaps it was good for me to go ahead and make the shorts first. Now, these also have pockets in it, so yay for pockets. And it has a very wide elastic waistline. Now, the elastic waistline is actually grown onto the pant pattern, which requires you simply to fold it back down, stitch it into place, and then add your elastic casings. Now, I went ahead and used 2 pieces of 1.5-inch elastic. The instructions give you the option to use a 3-inch wide elastic, or to use 2 pieces of 1.5-inch elastic. Now, I did not have any 3-inch elastic in my stash. I did have 1.5-inch elastic, and so I was happy that she gave instructions for that as well. And so that is what I did for my shorts. I also went ahead and top stitched my elastic into place using a very narrow zigzag stitch, which I do whenever I'm sewing waistbands with elastic. But thankfully, her instructions specifically tell you to top stitch your elastic into place, which is exactly what I did. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how these fit. For my next version, I'm going to go ahead and shorten the front crotch just a little bit more. I do feel like it's a little bit long, but generally, I'm happy with how these turned out for a wearable toile. Now, the next thing I want to share with you, you have actually seen this fabric before. I did a Minerva kit here on the channel. I feel like it was perhaps in the month of May. I'll drop the video link in here so you can go ahead and check it out. Now, the Minerva kit was for the Shelby dress and romper, and I went ahead and made up the dress version. Now, if you are unfamiliar with Minerva kits, when Minerva sends you a kit, they send you enough fabric and notions for the larger size and for the most fabric consuming version of the pattern. So when I got my kit, I got a lot of fabric and I was able to complete my dress, and I did have some fabric left over, and it was enough, you guys, to make myself a pair of Saguaro trousers by Friday Pattern Company. And this is what they look like. So these are the Saguaro trousers. Again, these are wide leg trousers with an elastic waist. So similar in that sense to the Foxie Boxies, but there are a couple of differences. So the first thing is, for the Saguaro trousers, the waistline is attached to the front pant. It's not folded over, it's attached separately. And there's also a drawstring channel which gives rise to this tie front, which I really, really find flattering on my body. Now it uses narrow elastic. I think this was a 2-inch elastic, and my elastic is top stitched into place. I think it's a 3/8 of an inch from the top and 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. Now I really like this elastic waistband, and if I were to compare this one to the Foxie Boxies, I think I actually prefer this elastic waistband just for my body type. Now, I'm really happy again with the fit of these trousers, you guys. I took my time adjusting the pattern for the crotch depth and length and so on. And I did get a lot of help from Michelle of Win Michelle over on Instagram. If you do not follow her, go ahead and check her out. And I was really stoked with how my trousers end up fitting. Now, I did lengthen my trousers by 2 inches. I don't think that was enough. And so if and when I make these trousers again, I'm going to go ahead and add an additional inch or two to the length of these trousers. Now I am 5'8.5", which is a little taller than average, but I carry a lot of my length in my legs. I'm very short in my torso and much longer in my legs. And so I feel like the way I like my pants to fit, I like them to almost like brush the sole of my shoes. And I feel like for that to happen with these trousers, I probably should go ahead and lengthen them just a little bit. Now, this pattern also has pockets. I did not include pockets in my version just because I was testing them out for the first time and I was using this floaty fabric. Now, with the Foxie Boxies, I was using a little bit more stable fabric. Those ones are linen. And I don't know, I just didn't do it in this pattern. The next time I make these trousers, though, I'm definitely going to go ahead and try to do the pockets, which are like a slanted pocket in the front of the trousers. Now, once I had finished making up these trousers, I had a little piece of fabric left over. You guys, can you believe I have now gotten 2 garments out of this Minerva kit fabric? And I put it to the side and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And then I thought perhaps I could squeeze out like a crop top to go with my trousers. And so that is the next thing that I need to share with you. So folks, I went ahead and eked out this like crop top for my trousers. I haven't completely finished them off in that I just need to go ahead and secure my elastic into place. But for the most part, this top is done. I made up this top just using a bunch of rectangles. So I cut 2 pieces of fabric, each I think 13 inches long, just by the width of fabric that I had remaining. And I joined them together using French seams. And then I created this ruffle casing at the top just by folding it down, top stitching it into place, and then creating a channel for the elastic. And then on the inside, I used bias tape. I think this is 5/8 of an inch bias tape, which I just top stitched into place on the inside of the material to create a second casing at my waistline area. Now I am contemplating whether I should go ahead and add straps to this top. I do have a tiny piece of fabric left back, enough to go ahead and add straps to it, and I'm still thinking about whether or not I need to add straps to it. But this is the 3rd garment that I got out of my Minerva kit fabrics. So again, I would absolutely recommend grabbing yourself a Minerva kit, especially if you fall at the lower end of like the size range. It inevitably means you'll have fabric left over that you can probably go ahead and squeak out another project, or in my case, 2 other projects. Now, the last thing that I want to share with you for my makes for the month of June is my jumpsuit. You guys, this is my first ever jumpsuit. And I made it using Simplicity 9330, which was voted on by my Instagram followers. And this is the finished jumpsuit. Listen, I felt like Pretty Kitty rocking my jumpsuit. I made it using this crepe fabric from Minerva again. I'll go ahead and leave the affiliate links for my Minerva down in the description box in case you want to grab any of these Minerva fabrics. This one, the purple one, or the floral print one that I just shared with you are all Minerva fabrics, and you can go ahead and click the links down below if you want to grab any of these fabrics. Now, the links are affiliate links, which means that I can gain a small commission if you purchase your fabric through my links. I appreciate it a lot, and it goes right back here into running my YouTube channel. Anyways, this jumpsuit, you guys, was exhausting. Exhausting because it took me so long to fit my pant pattern. I went through hell and back, you guys, trying to get the pants to fit me. Now, I shared all of that information over on my Instagram in several different reels throughout the month of June. So if you are interested in how I finally managed to secure a decent enough fit in these trousers, then be sure to head on over to my Instagram profile and check out those reels. Now, aside from that, this make has boning in the bodice, and it also has this overlap wrap over detail right here. So it was very time consuming to put this make together. I had to stay stitched the top of my bodice, but I feel like it got a little bit stretched out when I was working with it, and it might be because of the fabric. And so it is not as snug at the bodice as I anticipated. Now, I did do a toile of the bodice. And so I know I chose the correct size for my bodice, which I also did my fit adjustments to. Again, you can check that out over on Instagram and see just how snug it was fitting me around the bust line when I had finished my toile. Obviously, my toile was in muslin fabric, which is much different to this like crepe fabric. And so I feel like it is the fabric that caused me to sort of stretch it out a little bit when I was handling it, even though, as I said, I had top stitched it into place. Now, I'm really, really proud of this make. I do feel like there's room for a little bit of improvement in the fit of the trousers. I feel like, again, because of the fabric type, I probably could shorten the depth of the jumpsuit just a little bit and shorten the crotch length just a little bit, just because I feel like it hangs a little bit low in this fabric. Obviously, you need to have some ease incorporated into your trousers so you can sit and stand and walk and move and so on. But just because of the fabric, again, I feel like I probably could have shortened it just a little bit for an even better fit. But generally, I'm so proud of myself for completing this project and getting it done on time. So that is the last thing that I needed to share with you for my makes for the month of June. Overall, I'm happy with the additions to my wardrobe, and I'm really excited about continuing my pant fitting journey now that I have finally gotten my foot through the door. Now, for the month of July, we are well into pattern hacking month. I am hosting the Pattern Hackathon over on Instagram. It is a challenge for the sewing community on the whole, which is aimed at encouraging sewers to use patterns in your stash and put your own unique twist on those garments in the form of a pattern hack. Now, I have shared videos here on the channel about pattern hacking and what it is and so on. You can go ahead and click these links. I'll put them in up here or down in the description box so that you can go ahead and find them easily. Now, I'm encouraging all of you watching this video to go ahead and give pattern hacking a try and submit your entries over on Instagram. I have secured some amazing sponsors for the Pattern Hackathon, and I have tons of prizes to give out at the end of the hackathon. Now, all entries must be in by 11:59 p.m. American Standard Time on the 31st of July. And then the prize picking will be by the 4th or so of August. I will be able to notify all of the winners by that time. Fingers crossed. Again, I said I have secured some amazing sponsors. I'll put the flyer in somewhere here so you can see the incredible small businesses that have agreed to sponsor a prize for the Pattern Hackathon. Now, I am a huge fan of pattern hacking. I like just to be able to put my very own unique twist and spin on my patterns. And so last year, I kicked off the Pattern Hackathon with season 1, and I'm back again for season 2 this year. And depending on how it goes, it might become a regular addition to the sewing community lineup for the annual sewing challenges. Again, in July, the Pattern Hackathon over on Instagram, hosted by yours truly, bing, on social. Head on over and check it out. And if you are so inclined, be sure to go ahead and enter the challenge yourself. Now, you do not have to be an advanced sewist. You can be a beginner sewist, and as a matter of fact, you may never have done pattern hacking before. That is completely fine. One of my ambassadors for the pattern hackathon, her name is Candice. You can find her here, We See Style. She had never done a hack before this pattern hackathon, and yet she agreed to be an ambassador. I'll go ahead and drop the flyer for the ambassadors in as well so that you can see who the ambassadors are. But I will implore you to head on over to those 2 videos that specifically deal with the pattern hacking and head on over to my Instagram account so that you guys can get all caught up. Now, I'm sure this has been a very long video. Thank you so much for sticking with me through it. Please be sure to let me know in the comments box down below what you thought of my makes for the month of June. Which one was your favorite make of all? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to go ahead and give me a thumbs up as well. And if you have made it this far into my video and you are not yet a subscriber, then come here. I said, come here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn your notification on so you never miss any of my upcoming videos. Your subscriptions are absolutely free, but they do guarantee you a spot right here with me on YouTube in my sewing family. And as usual, I'm happy to have you guys here with me from week to week. So again, that is all I needed to share with you guys today. Please be sure to keep your eyes out for all the juicy Pattern Hackathon entries. Follow the hashtag Pattern Hackathon 24 over on Instagram. And until next time, stay calm, stay cool, stay safe, and absolutely keep sewing. Peace.